We debated back and forth about Swiss versus 8-4. Swiss guarantees that we get 3 rounds of play, but I don't think the drafts are as realistic, though I feel like the first few drafts that I've done, first 10 or so I did on here were not realistic. People were bad. People did not understand the pick orders, etc. So we're going to jump in here. I worked with a team of silvers and a gold for the Pro Tour, and we had very differing opinions on a lot of the card picks, etc. So hopefully I can clear up some of that stuff, and we can see where we're at. Okay, already right away. I think green is the best color. I think it melds with just about every other color quite well, and I really like blue. And people did not like blue. People were rating blue as like the worst color. I think black is the worst color. Blue, I think, tends to be underrated pretty much across the board. So whatever color, whatever position it is, third, first, second, fifth, fourth, whatever, it ends up being underrated because the cards are more subtle. It's not big power and toughness for a low casting cost. They're subtle abilities, and they often use the mechanics in subtle ways. So let's look what we got here. We've got an excellent green uncommon, maybe one of the very best uncommons after Clear Shot and a couple of others. Somberwald Stag. We've got Spirit of the Hunt, which is a fine rare. We've got Galvanic Bombardment to pick the only card in that color. But I think Somberwald Stag is just too strong. So I'm going to take it. Sigardian Priest is one of the better white commons, if not the best, after Choking Restraints. Ironclad Slayer is also quite good. All right, so we took an excellent uncommon and are past a solid uncommon. Again, I don't love black, so I'd rather not get into Boon of Emrakul territory here. We did see an Ironclad Slayer, which might wheel, so you want to keep an eye on that. People are talking like, oh, it's so important or all that stuff, but it is important. Just keep an eye on it. So right now, the person took the rare, so they could have taken a money rare, or they could have taken a good card for their deck, or both. Faith Unbroken is probably the most rawly powerful card in this pack. I don't love white. I'm tempted to take Gnarlwood Dryad and see. I did ship the rare Flash Werewolf, and so I could take Gnarlwood, possibly wheel, Grapple with the Past. I'm going to take Gnarlwood Dryad. I like to stay open, but I also like to take the more powerful cards and see where I'm at. So it's a little bit tough there. I think it hinged on the fact that I don't love white. I did see the Ironclad Slayer, and it might wheel, so that's a thing. This is probably one of the worst, if not the worst, of the emerged creatures. That being said, all the emerged creatures are quite solid. If I had taken the white card, I don't know that it would alter what I would pick here. I really like Ingenious Scob. It does not go as well in blue-green. That's probably its worst archetype. That being said, it's probably the best blue common, or I believe that it is the best blue common. So I think I take that. The Mockery is fine. It's a big body. It does allow you to take an artifact or enchantment. I'm definitely a little torn. I'm going to take the Scob. What? What happened there? Ugh. Alright, I will not take the Scob, apparently. That's frustrating. I'm not sure what happened there. Alright. Tangled Claw is decent on the front end, and is quite powerful and annoying on the back end. He has Vigilance. He's a 4/6, takes 7 to transform. He must be blocked if able, and he can block an additional creature each combat. So he's a bit of a house. Definitely going to take him. It's arguable to take him first pick, first back. The most powerful... I'm sorry, I would not take him first pick, first back. First pick, first back, I would take Wretched Griff. But I think in this spot, being that I'm green, I'm going to take Tangled Claw Werewolf. That may be a mistake. If I had taken the Scob, I would have taken the Wretched Griff here, probably. It does seem like the emerge creatures are available. We got 2 pretty good targets for prey upon. Also, that's actually 3 pretty good targets. I think I can wheel one of these guys, possibly. There's some other okay stuff in this. I don't know that I can wheel one of those 2. That being said, I'm still going to take prey upon. I think that I will get the emerge creatures that I want. All right. Now, so what do we see here? We see that there are a couple of good black commons, probably the first or second and the third or fourth best black common. And then 2 of the best 3 or 4 white commons. We do see an excellent blue common. I do like blue-green quite a lot. It's not as open. It doesn't appear to be as open as black and white. That being said, I passed a Boon of Emrakul, and I passed a Sigardian Priest, and in blue I only passed a Wretched Griff, which a lot of people don't think is as good. I'm going to take Drag Under because of my desire to play blue-green. I think it's very strong. If I'd taken black, I could take Midnight Scavengers here. It's a very real threat. You get a couple of rats and a couple of those, and the Chittering Host just wins games. Blue-green, though, I think is an excellent shell for Chilling Grasp. It would be better if we had taken the Scob. All right, now there's nothing particularly exciting. This does enable Delirium. People often ask me about counter drafting. You know, at this point, my colors are open. I could end up being black. Bar Relevance is a fine playable. It's a 18, 19, 20th best card. Terrarian does give me some mana fix if I were to splash, and it gives me the Delirium for the Gnarlwood and possibly some other hits. So I'm going to take the Terrarian and see where we end up here. All right. I like Turnus. I have noticed, I did a draft last night, I have noticed that the Ironclad Slayers go rather late, and that makes the Boon of Emrakuls and those kind of cards just better. It makes the Faith Unbroken better. Like, all those cards just become a lot better. Here, I think, despite getting that Ironclad, I don't think there's very much in green-white besides the white enchantments. So I'm going to take Unsubstantiate because I think it's an underappreciated, versatile card, and it's rather cheap. Here, I don't love Field Creeper, but if I want to do Delirium, this is a decent enabler. So I'm going to take it. It gives me a 2-drop. This is just a bad pack. This also gives you Delirium enabler. The Woodcutter's Grid is all right. I'm going to take it. I don't have any combat tricks at this point. Convolute's fine. If your opponent has several bombs or a heavier, more expensive deck, you play them. Enough said. I think Borrowed Hostility is probably the card I'm the most scared of playing against. I have a Drag Under and an Unsubstantiate, so I'm hoping they play Lunarch Mantle. That one Swamp was an awkward pick, also because the guy to my left might have gotten it. Okay, all right, we're playing blue-green for sure. Niblis of Frost is just a bomb. It's one of the very best rares in the set. I had it in my second deck. I'm sorry, my first deck of day 2 after an 8-1 finish in Grand Prix Sydney before the Pro Tour. And I got it 4th pick in the second pack. And I was already in blue-white likely, and it was insane. Every time I drew it, it was insane. I played a Turn Aside because of it and 2 Subjugator Angels main, which some of my teammates were doubtful about. But it just allowed me to synergize so well if I got this guy in that. And I got to do it twice in game 1s. But Niblis of Frost, I don't have a lot going on 4. Very powerful card. We'll hope to maybe wheel Turn Aside, Backwoods Survivalists, Tangle Claw, Unsubstantiate, maybe Wretched Griff. All those are out there. The one issue with how I drafted the last pack was I did not value the Emerge cards. And that's incorrect, and it might come back to bite me in the ass because I have not taken them and I have shipped them, and there were blue and green ones. And so I very well have put my opponents to my left in possibly, I don't think I would have put them in green unless they just wanted to take the Emerge. I took all the green cards, but blue with the Scob followed by the Wretched Griff makes me a little bit nervous. You can never be unhappy with the Geisty Archives. People are like, you don't put that in aggressive deck. You don't put it in this deck. You put it in every blue deck. You put 2 of them. You put 3 of them. It's excellent. It blocks all the 3/2s and 2/3s for 3 and scries and filters your draw. So you always want this card in your deck. It's excellent. Anybody who says different, send them over to talk to me. All right. Now, blue-green needs some emerge. This has got 2 of the good cards, actually 3. Bloodbriar, Exalting Cultist, and Laboratory Brood are all good with emerge. You don't really want to emerge the Bloodbriar, but you can. But it works well with sack things. It works with Terrarion. It works with lots of other cards. That counterspell enchantment. Exalting Cultist is made for emerge. I'm hoping I'll be able to take the Wretched Gryph and I'll be able to get one of these 3 back, and we'll see how that goes. That might be indicative of how well the draft really goes for us. Because if I don't get any of those back, then it's a little thin, those colors. Just to jump onto other colors, pack 1, pick 1. If this were my pack, I would take Vilden, pack Outcast, and I would windmill it, and it wouldn't be close, I don't think. This card's very underrated. All the werewolves, their flip costs are very reasonable. They're bomb-like abilities later on, and they do, you know, they're decently efficient. 4/4 trample for 5 is fine. For 4 in a red, that's a fine creature. You'd play that always. It's a good vanilla creature. And the ability, the pump ability, the fire breathing, and the transform and colorless fire breathing is just very, very good. Here, I have some 3 drops. I'm thinking about Laboratory Brood. It gives us Delirium, which isn't really what this deck's trying to do, but it is a decent body. I want to be emerged, though, and that probably means the Bloodbriar is just better. All right, 3 good emerge creatures and a good enabler. I think here there's 2 Drownyard Behemoths. It costs 8. Can I wheel one of those? Are they better than It of the Horrid Swarm? I'm not sure they are. They might be. They're flash also. The one thing about taking the green cards, maybe I can wheel one of the blue. No, there's only 11 cards in the pack. The basic land and then a crappy card like Waxing Moon comes back. Spontaneous Mutation is excellent as well. Don't let that. It's the blue swords to plowshares. It's very good. I think I need an emerge creature at this point, though. And maybe it should be an enabler. I really haven't gotten a chance to play much with Drownyard Behemoth, so I'm going to take it. That may be wrong. But if that's wrong, I don't want to be right. That's a lot of red cards. They aren't good red cards, but there just are a lot of red cards in there. Shreds of Insanity. Shreds of Sanity is very good in that archetype, in the blue-red spells archetype in particular. If you have a lot of spells, it's excellent. So I'm going to take Enlightened Maniac, which is a good pickup for us here, I think. Prey Upon. People have been poo-pooing Campaign of Vengeance, and I don't think I want to be black-white, but I think if I am black-white, I'm very happy to have this card. But, all right, I'm going to take Prey Upon. This starts to change a little bit of what I want to draft. Like, oh, wow, blue is wide open. I'm getting this almost on the wheel. This card is great. With Prey Upon, it's even better. I should have 2 of those. Thankfully, it didn't come to bite me in the ass. All right, so Wolfkin Bond is fair. Field Creeper is a fine 2-drop. I want to have a turn aside in my deck. It likely will be in the sideboard. I don't think that Tattered Haunter does what this deck wants to do at all, but it is a tempo 2-drop. It is a guy that I can... So we'll set to see how our deck develops, but I don't want to let that guy go. Laboratory Brute's fine. Again, it enables Delirium, and it's a fine piece of food for your emerge cards. Distemper is terrible. It's almost like it should be an instant, and it's not. I'm going to take the Lunarch Mantle. I don't know what I want to play. I guess I do kind of want to play against those with an unsubstantiated. I should almost encourage my opponents to play those. But as usual, at the end of the first 2 packs, I already have a deck. Like, it's already good enough. If I'd taken that Ingenious Scob, I would literally have a deck. I would have a good 22-card deck with no real filler. You'll notice my general tendency to overvalue spells and undervalue creatures. But I'm careful of archetype, and this is obviously with the emerge archetype. This is a spot where you really need the creatures. You need the dumb little enablers. I didn't get back any of those 3 fodder for the emerge cards, but I don't know how many cards were in that pack. So it's possible they got taken because there was just kind of garbage left. You know, basic land, bad spell, unplayable rare, or something. So. Let's see if there's any value with Essence Flux. I can do Somberwalled Stag. I can do Niblis of Frost. I can do Enlightened Maniac Tricks. It'll make my Geist bigger. Just the Wind is just better, I guess. I do have 3 good effects with Essence Flux. They're not amazing, but they're solid. I already have 2 Prey Upon effects, so I don't know how important it is with Somberwalled Stag to have like the extra bonus. This one's more likely to wheel. I'm just going to take Just the Wind. It's just more versatile. I keep sliding down in my chair. All right, let's get up and get in this draft. It does seem like we've built a blue-green tempo deck. And this may be one of the picks that kind of decides how controlling are we versus how tempo-y. And if we're a tempo deck, then we probably want Niblis of Dusk. And if we're a little bit more controlling, we probably want Drownyard Explorers. It also gives you a clue to sacrifice for Bloodbriar. That's not nothing. It's better fodder for these guys than Niblis of Dusk is. I have 4 4-drops already, though Laboratory Brutkint is definitely replaceable. I just like Drownyard Explorers more. This is a Spirit as well. I'm going to take the Niblis. I think it fits better with what we're trying to do. It's very close, though, in this deck. Wow, what an amazing black and white uncommon there. And we're going to get Squat Diddly, and then a very good common in black. I mean, this gives us one big Delirium finisher. If this were just one cost, like it either costs a black, if it didn't cost a black for both to play it and this, it's not unreasonable that we could maybe splash it. But I think we just take the Dire Swine. I'm really not a big fan of counterdrafting at all. You have to play against that person and they have to draw the card. And you have to lose because of it. And if it's a card you might play, I think it's just worth it. And the Dire Swine is definitely a card I might play. Griff Spoon is powerful. Hate to see that there. It's going to be Quilled Wolf for us, though. I was going to do a quick human count, but I don't think I have very many. Yeah, easy Quilled Wolf for us. Stormrider Spirit is a good spell for our deck. We don't have a lot of instants to hold back, though we have a few, but it can be a decent finisher. It fills our curve out nicely. Happy to have it. Tooth Collector, so good. I just don't think Truth Faith Sensor is going to do anything in our deck, and I really don't want to play against Tooth Collector. We've got stuff that it kills, and it's just an excellent card. And at this point, we're not trying to make sure that our opponents, like in the first second back, we're definitely trying to make sure that our opponents are in their colors. You don't want to take a late decent pick if you're definitely not going to be that color, because you want to make sure that they're firmly in those colors so they're not competing with you for your colors. So I'm going to take Tooth Collector. I think it's a little too good here, and I'm not going to play any of the other cards for sure. Gone Missing is solid. I don't think Harvest Hand is very good in our deck. It's okay, I guess. I guess it does all right with Emerge. I really wish we'd gotten one or two more Emerge creatures, and I may just pay the price for that later. Gone Missing is only fair to middling. I'm going to take Harvest Hand. It does work with some of the stuff we've got going on, like the Emerge, which is really just wish we had at least one more Emerge card, maybe two. We don't have a Delirium theme at all, really. The Wicker Witch just isn't going to do anything for us. I'm just going to take Howlpack Wolf, I believe. Yes. I'm probably most scared of Uncaged Fury, so I'm going to take that. I'll take the duel. Let's not make it easy for anybody. None of these cards are going to get played. Spiteful Motives. I'm sorry, Spiteful Motives might get played. I'm just going to go ahead and take it. I don't see me ever playing this guy, but it is a big dumb body that at least has some potential to get played. All right, let's see what we can make out of this chaos. I mean, the 2 picks hurt me, and it might have hurt me for the Emerge cards as well. I feel like I did get really late picks, though, but that Ingenious Scout that I just didn't take 3rd pick was bad. I like to look at this deck. It's not overtly powerful. I think it's solid. Let's see what we can build. We've got a little bit of high end here. I don't see needing another late drop. I do like all my 4 drops. I don't know how great they are. We'll have to see. I think Convolute will end up being in the sideboard. I don't have a lot of things to hold back on. I do have some. We're not going to be Delirium, so Field Creeper is bad. Terrarian's fine if you need the color fix. The Sacrifice will help Bloodbriar. If I had like a couple of Bloodbriars, it'd be more interesting. I'm fine with cutting that card, but I'm also fine keeping it. It does help a little bit with a couple of the early doubles that we've got. This deck looks like it's going to need to be 18 lands. The cards that are potentially up for cutting are Terrarian. I would never cut Gnarlwood Dry double Prey Upon in this deck. Now, we got plenty of big butts for the Prey Upons. Woodcutter's Grit is not great. Niblis of Dusk is not great either. But I do feel like we're going to want to build some ground defense and then try to win in the air. Maybe have a tempo win with Chilling Grass. But Chilling Grass, Drag Under, all those put in good work. If we had enough of a Delirium element, like some Delirium, then I think it would be worth it to play Field Creeper because we got some tempo we can do. It can trade with other 2 drops. And then you have the advantage of it also just helping with Delirium. But I think in this format, the games go slower and grindier than you'd think. It was a fairly slow format in Shadows, and it's gotten slower, in my opinion. So, don't see cutting any of these first 7. If I were to cut something from here, let's see how many things we've got that sacrifice. All right, we've got 2 Emerge cards. That's 2. We did not get that Clue Maker. Yeah, only 2. I think Bloodbrier's got to go. Or at least it's one of the weaker cards. All the other cards are decent. Like Harvest Hand still makes a reasonable equipment. And it's an enabler for our 2 Emerge cards. Though, again, I wish we had more Emerge cards. The only 2 cards we have that are Delirium, I believe, are the Kessig Dire Swine, and we had one other one, that the Gnarlwood Dryad. So maybe having like some possibilities to get those guys if they're cheap, like cheap option. Like Terrarian doesn't really hurt us to get that going. What do we have in the way of instants? We have Just the Wind, Chilling Grasp, and that's it if we cut Woodcutter's Grit. I don't see cutting any of this higher end here. Laboratory Brood is not great. It does help with Delirium, but it really doesn't do what we're trying to do. I think you need to have... So that gets us very close. I do think we need 18 lands. We do have some filter and some cheaper cards, but I still need to lose 2 cards here. And if I'm going to cut Terrarian, I'm definitely going to cut Bloodbriar. I just don't have enough sack outlets to make it good. Terrarian does give us a possible Delirium aid. Woodcutter's Grit is I don't want to say it's a decent trick. It's okay. All right, let's get our lands going here. Gonna play 18 lands. My deck isn't super expensive. I guess it's not unreasonable to play 17 lands, but I think I want to draw a land and play a land for the first 5 or 6 turns of the game, and I have bigger plays. Sometimes I'm just going to want to hard cast those guys. I don't know how relevant making Gnarlwood Dryad a 3/3 death touch later on in the game really is. It's more the Dire Swine. I'm going to get rid of Terrarian. I'm going to keep the combat trick. I really haven't gotten to try it out as much as I'd like. I think Turnicide's even reasonable. When you have the emerge creatures, it maybe should have just been Turnicide over the Grit. Yeah, I may end up just regretting that. It does give hexproof, obviously. It does what Turnicide does, kind of, but it costs 3. So we'll see. All right, let's see if I can not time out. I'm known to time out occasionally, so let's see if we can avoid that. All right, this isn't a great hand, but it's definitely a keeper. I'm not really pressured, but I have a Drag Under. Tell me cancer. I've got 1 of each color land. If I had 2 islands or 2 forests instead, I would probably mulligan. Because then we're off a color and we don't have any early plays. So I think with mulliganing, it's very much a question of, obviously, a culmination of all the aspects of your hand. But it's fine if your hand is lacking a thing, like maybe you're a little light on mana or you only have 1 color. But if you are light on mana and you only have 1 color and you have high drops, you got to combine all those aspects and see how promising it looks. You have to also remember, when you open a 2-land hand and are on the play, about 1/3 of the time you won't have a 3rd land on turn 3. And this may be one of those times. It is one of those times. It's unfortunate. I think I just want to tempo a little bit here. I guess I could wait and see if I draw the land for Drag Under. I can just do that. No, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to slow some stuff down. He's got 2 werewolves, which makes me want to keep Unsubstantiate. But, yeah, I'm just not drawing any lands. That guy was going to have to go anyway. Or I was going to have to discard. All right, fun first draft video. Well, it's always fun when you keep the 2-lander and then 4 turns later you haven't drawn another land. Hopefully I'll get to prey upon the Ulvenwald Captive at least. If not, Drag Under and do some other shenanigans. Okay. Still no land. It would be nice if I could somehow set it up where I could prey upon and discard the Just the Wind. That would be fun, but I can't do both. I think I just have to bounce the Tangle Claw Werewolf at this point and hope I can prey upon. Maybe he doesn't have another land, or maybe he's not going to do that next turn. I may just have to trade with the wolf, but maybe not. That's debatable. Alright. Let's bounce his dumb werewolf. I feel like I just take that guy. If I don't draw another land, maybe I've lost for certain. But I was thinking if I... Wow, I'm really not going to draw another land. I'm not even out of this game. I must say it looks bleak. Can we afford the drag under play? Is that the play? Make them recast. He can pump. Do 9. Just need to slow it down a little bit. Give myself the best chance of drawing a land. Play Nibless. If I play drag under now, it gives me the best chance of drawing a land, but it doesn't stop the pressure. I could take 9 next turn if I drag under. Or if I drag under the biggest guy. I could just Chilling Grasp. Hope that I draw the land. Play Nibless of Frost. And then the following turn I can prey upon and drag under something maybe. I need to figure out the best way to get Nibless of Frost online. And this gives me the card draw, but the problem is if I do use drag under now, I'll take 5. I'll play Nibless of Frost, and I'm forced to just block when he flips this guy. So I think I have to use Chilling Grasp and hope I draw a land. I think I have to do Chilling Grasp here. The question is who to target. I think it just has to be his bigger creatures. He could be flooded out. They all hit almost as hard as Thraben Foulbloods. But if I don't tap those, they just make it lethal with Nibless of Frost, so. Ugh. At least he can't pump, right? I just have to get Niblis out. I don't have a choice. It's the only way I win this game is to get Niblis out. Enlightened Maniac just delays the inevitable. I need to get this guy out while I've got one turn. Oh, if he's got a removal, he's got a murder backup. All right, that's it. All right, so he showed a murder. And he wanted to show the rest of his deck, I guess. All right. So he showed one murder against black-green. I just don't think Turnicide's very good. Convolute could be solid with some of the bigger stuff that he had. But he didn't play, I mean, he played Murder, a couple of 4-drops. He didn't play a lot of big stuff. He does have a Merge, which makes Convolute better. But I'm not really afraid of him making a 4-4 and a couple of 1-1s. He didn't show much or anything in the way of flying, so Tattered Haunter is interesting. The question is whether or not Woodcutter's Grit is very good. I just don't think it's very good. Convolute may just be better. I'm going to be on the play here. It works nicely with Nibbles. I would want to try it out a little more. I haven't gotten to try it very much. I know it's slow and not great, but let's try it out a little more. All right, we'd like to play first. I would like to play first. All right, this seems much better. Easy keep. This is going to be great. The Prey Pawns are great with Ingenious Scout. And he doesn't have the sweetness this turn, thank God. No Ulvenwald Captive, one of the very best commons. Definitely the best green common. Arguably one of the very best commons in the set. He played a third land and didn't do anything. So he could murder. Maybe he's hoping I'll do something first. I don't know why he would wait if he was going to murder it. So I'm assuming that he does not wish to murder it. I think my best move here is beat for 2. And I'm just going to play the Enlightened Maniac. It allows me to do Drownyard Behemoth. And it's not a good target for murder. While he'd be able to murder end of turn. If he wants to kill the Ingenious God, that's also okay. Lose some life, sweet. I think that card's unplayable. And I love to draw cards, and I still think it's very borderline. The format is a little slower, so the 2 life isn't as big a deal, but I just don't love it. If you're lacking in 3-drops and a way to bridge into the later game, and you see your opponent's playing a slower deck, I guess it's arguable that it's okay, but I don't like it very much. I just feel like I flash in Drownyard Behemoth. And I just pass. I don't really want to trade either one of these guys for the Haunted Dead. I don't want him to... I don't think he'll block the Ingenious Scob, but he might double block and just say, it's 1 card. If he's got something, he's got something. But it wouldn't even be me bouncing or killing another creature. It'd just be me doing some other spell that would make it worthwhile. So I think I just don't want to tempt that. I mean, my hand is so gas. There's some argument for just going off here, but I think I just Drownyard Behemoth. I don't think I want to mess around. He's going to have a very hard time coming back this game, I think. Well, I can't not do it, so that's what it's here for. I guess it's going to get murdered. We'll see. He has murder and the opportunity to bring Haunted Dead back. I can't play the Tangle Claw and do a Prey Upon. So that's something. What might he do? Flash something in? There's a couple blowouts. I guess I can do the Prey Upon on Ingenious Scob. I don't really want to kill Haunted Dead. I don't think I really care. I'm going to attack with just the Drown Yard Behemoth. Sure. All right. This gives us an overwhelming board presence. Even with a murder and bring back Haunted Dead, we're decent here. He didn't have murder. Interesting. He didn't even have any madness cards with it. He just got rid of Wolfgenbond in a swamp. Sure. Tapping Alpha Wolfgenbond with my hand seems pretty bad. Try to race with some spirits, maybe. So a lot of stuff end of my turn for a black-green deck. It's kind of weird. And maybe he's just holding murder for like a blowout. But I don't think it's that big of a blowout. And if he wants to bring it back and put a token in, that's okay. I also need mana for this possibly next turn. I'm just going to go ahead and Prey Upon. I just don't think it's that big a deal. And if his murder goes to that, okay. I think murder on my Ingenious Scob and Prey Upon leaves me a big Drown Yard Behemoth, which seems pretty good, and a Tangle Claw Werewolf, so. So my guy's going to be a 1-2, a 2-3. Sure. I'm okay with that. He brings it back. Maybe does a token at most. Kills extremely little. How does he get back from this? 5, 8, 10, and then I flip. I kind of want to just tap his tokens now. Yeah, let's just get him there. He can bring 1 token back to block the Eldrazi Horror and still take 7. Or sorry, you just blocked the 5/7. So he's taking 10 or he's throwing away his other token. That seems fine. Oh. I forgot about that card. That was bad. So he blocks the Tangle Claw and takes 8. That's still alright. This is where I'll still get to kill him this turn. If he has a trick here, it's bad. The worst he can do is he can bring... I mean, he can bring the 1 back. He can live by just bringing Haunted Dead back, but I guess he doesn't want to do that. So he has some grindier stuff. He has that trick that I need to be careful of. He has the big 4/5 flyer, the Dargon. He has Borrowed Malevolence now as well, which might make Turn-Aside better. Woodcutter's Grit would have been great in any of those spots as well, though. Trying to think from a draw. He has a bunch of... Well, he has at least one thing. So this guy is just not very good on defense, and we're going to be a little bit more on defense this game. I kind of want to have the Turn-Aside. It could be a big blowout. He's only showed 2 cards that it would be good against. Convolute's a little bit rougher on the draw, I think. I'm going to take Turn-Aside. Good chance he has another piece of removal. He could have a Prey Upon. He could have those kind of cards. I'm going to take it. Or I'm going to play it, excuse me. Maybe cutting the Tattered Haunter is just wrong. Not sure. Easy mulligan. Easy keep. Well, not an easy keep, but a keep. Not a good hand. Huh. That's interesting. It's a good 5-drop. It's just a little bit slow. I think it might just have to go on the bottom. So he's going to get the amazing draw this game. At least he doesn't have an awesome 4-drop. That's something. Cooled Wolf or something here. Another Ulvenwald captive. That's not good. Nothing but lands. Wow. I'm really going to just draw Nathan here. At least he couldn't even flip those guys. That's something. Maybe I should have tapped them. Upkeep might have been smart. He's going to tap one anyway. Just wait. And now he gets enough where he can do the other one too, which is awkward if I decide to tap him. I think I just wait till he blows all the mana and does it. The other possibility is just tap him, let him use his turn if he wants. I don't know that I want to throw Dire Swine down there. I almost want to throw it down there once I've got the turn aside mana, so I can wait one extra turn. I get to 6. I play 6. He doesn't untap one more turn, and then it untaps, and then I have this big guy. Huh. It's a little bit of an awkward spot here. I can do it in upkeep. He blows all 7 to activate the other Ulvenwald captive. That ends his turn. And then I can play Kessig or not play Kessig. Actually, the Quilled Wolf activation plus turn aside would kill one of the Ulvenwald captives, and it doesn't. Neither one of them stops the +3/+3. The Woodcutter's Grit. Ugh. This is a tough spot. I hate giving him a good ability with it. I think I just got to let this go. It saves me some damage and saves me some time. I really just don't know here. Can I afford to wait? That's the question. Does he have murder specifically? I don't know that I can afford to wait. If he were to have murder here, could I live? If his card is Woodcutter's Grave, which is just as likely. I just don't know that I can wait. I'd love to have the luxury to wait, but I just don't think I can. And probably it just gets murdered and that's it. Instantly murdered. It just really depends on what he has. But maybe with turn aside, I just have to hope. I'd love to see how the game would have gone if I had waited. It's a pretty good pickup. Have to block one of the big guys. But even killing the Haunted Dead just makes for more spirit creations here. So, yeah, I mean, his hand was just very good. Lots of solid creatures. All his best spells. Oh, I die exactly, don't I? Yep, nothing to be done. Frustrating, to say the least. I don't know what happens if I do it the way that I wanted to do it. I think he just had too much gas. Nothing to do but give you guys some double down values. Let's do another draft. I liked our deck, but I wasn't thrilled with it. We had a couple of pretty subpar draws. I wonder what happens. There's two things that could have gone differently in that game 3. I could have kept the 5-drop, the flyer. Would have been interesting to see what happens there. A flash flyer comes in and blocks the 2/2 or the 1/1. Or I could have waited on the Kessick. I just felt like he had murder. I called it about 12 times, and I just, yeah, didn't follow my own advice there. All right, well, the things that jump out to me immediately are a bunch of cards. Subjugator, Angel, and Weaver of Lightning are the two best cards in here. by a fairly good margin. They're both really good, and the right shells, they're both very powerful. I guess Subjugator Angel is probably slightly more powerful, but it's white. I haven't gotten to play with Weaver Lightning as much as I've actually gotten to play with Subjugator Angel quite a few times in pretty serious tournaments. So Vildenpack Outcast is an excellent red common. Retrogriff is an excellent blue common. Gavony Unhallowed is very underrated. The thing always ends up being very large. There's not really very many ways to punish it. There's a decent body anyway. Backward Survivalist is a very solid green body. I'm tempted to take Weaver Lightning. The one advantage of Subjugated Angel is there's no other white cards in the pack. And you build a whole deck around that. These are both, not build-arounds, but good in certain synergistic decks, I think. The Vildenpack Outcast makes the Weaver of Lightning a little bit worse of a pick than it would ordinarily be because it's another good red common. That being said, I'm still just going to take Weaver of Lightning. I think it's powerful. No, we missed Deploy the Gatewatch. All right. I am not in love with Thermo Alchemist, but Thermo Alchemist Weaver Lightning, like it's just that's that deck. Advanced Stitchwing is also an excellent card. Maybe that's just too good to pass up. Blue-red is where you want to be. Anyway, maybe taking Thermo Alchemist is just a little bit loose. I want to be in the blue-red spells deck, and that's the thing. And that's blue, and so it's very hard to just throw that guy away when people might see him as the best card in the pack. So if I want to be blue-red spells, then maybe I have to take Advanced Stitchwing here. Yeah, Stitchwing is just too powerful. I think I'm going to take Stitchwing. May not be right. We'll have to see. I'm hoping I can wheel Shreds out of this pack. This pack isn't great, though. This gives you two bodies. Fits our curve nicely, 3, 4, 5. We don't want creatures, though. We really want spells, but I really want to try to wheel the Shreds. And I think it's reasonable that we could. It is not a great pack, but this card is very undervalued. It's pretty much just for our archetype. And this allows us to still be the Emerge deck and do a bunch of different things with this deck. Another campus. Someone's going to have 3 of those. Maybe we should drop everything and just take that card now. Displace is an interesting card. I don't know what kind of deck I'm going to be yet. I think Tattered Haunter is just a stronger card overall. So I'm going to take it. Subjugated Angel would have been better with what I've taken so far. Spontaneous Mutation is like the only sort of non-instant you want in this blue deck, but blue seems wide open. I think Spontaneous Mutation is a great common, one of the better ones in blue, and I think blue has good commons. All right, blue is just wide open, and I think we'll wheel like a Turnicide or something out of this pack maybe. But easy drag under. I like Chilling Grasp, but I think here, oh, there's also Brazen Wolves. Brazen Wolves is really good if we want to try to be blue-red. But we're not, I mean, red, that makes me think red is very open, but we've not seen a lot of red cards. So I don't know if this card is just undervalued, but I think I just want to make sure that I'm in blue for certain. And maybe it just has to be Brazen Wolves. Maybe the chance of being able to go blue-red, maybe Brazen Wolves is so much stronger that I can't just take, no, I'm taking Breaker Under. It hurts the red, but this does what the blue-red spells deck wants to do, so. It also keeps me open to be something else. Red just hasn't looked very open. That's one brief moment there where red looked open, but otherwise it has not looked very open. So here we got the Death Touch guy. We've got It of the Horde Swarm. We've got early plays anyway. I think It of the Horde Swarm just gives us good emerge possibilities, and I think we're already looking a little bit like we might be that. Backward Survivalist is also solid. I'm going to take 8 of the Horde Swarm. Again, I'm not 100% sure that that's better than... It feels better now that I got a second Enlightened Maniac. Yeah, red has really not seemed open, which makes it seem odd that that card was there. The Brazen Wolves. Sentient Innkeeper is better than people give credit for. If you're on the play and you do that, and you not only get to possibly take out an important color or just get them off their 4th mana or their 5th mana or whatever it is, it's been good when I've cast it and had it cast against me. Here, I think I just want Gavony Unhallowed. I'm not sure what I'm going to be yet, and I think that's the best card in there. It definitely seems like we should have been Subjugator Angel. We could have had a couple of Fiend Binders. I feel like I'll have another shot at a turn aside. I'm going to take Fiend Binder. We're kind of tempo-y already a little bit with like the Drag Under and Spiny. So like, again, I'm not, whoa. All right, that card is just not appreciated. I'm just going to take it. Because I think it's better than that. Woodcutter's Grit's also okay, but not in love with it by any means. It turns out nobody likes that card, so I don't know what we're going to end up being. We passed the Brazen Wolves, yet there was no red at that point. We don't even have a heavy spell component yet. So we're really pretty wide open. The blue looked good. Blue looked very open. We'll try to build the best blue deck we can. Right now we only have one instant sorcery that we want to play for sure, and then an enchantment. So we'll have to see. I don't know what I'm hoping. I'm hoping I'll open up something that's like a good sign. I'd hoped that the Shreds of Sanity would come around. It did not come around. The pack was not deep, so it's not necessarily an indicator, but someone else could be going blue-red spells. I did pass the Thermal Alchemist as well, second pick, which was, you know, possibly a mistake. I don't know. All right. I just don't love what we've got. I don't have any very powerful call to red now except for Weaver, and I don't have very many spells in our deck anyway. So pack one, pick one here. I would take Sanctifier. Foul Emissary is also very good with the Emerge. I guess it's a very powerful card. I already have an Emerge card. Maybe that's the way to go. It's very powerful when you're in that deck. I have a lot of creatures. I've already passed Subjugator Angel, so I think taking a white card is probably just a mistake. I don't feel like I shipped that much in green, but green was fairly open. We did get some late white, but that again was from the right. So I also want to try the blue-green Emerge deck again. Maybe I take the Foul Emissary and see what comes of it. I'm going to take the Foul Emissary. It fits our curve. It's very powerful with the Emerge mechanic here that we got going. All right, easy Wretched Griff here. Maybe we can wheel something like Unsubstantiated Enlightened Maniac. The pack's pretty thin here, so I would say that none of those will come around. I'll be getting my chance at Distempering Blood and Bold Impaler, but easy Wretched Griff. Good that I got a pretty high creature count already. Double Galvanic Bombardment and Savage Alliance. Oh my lord. Alright. We're not for sure at a red by any means, and Savage Alliance might be the best uncommon in the set. It is very strong. There's nothing good for me. I take like Primal Druid. So easy Savage Alliance. And we're going to see what comes up. Like, Id of the Horde Swarm is still just castable if we want. We could splash. Alright, now we've got the possibility of trying to go, like, we want to be Emerge, and we've got some good Emerge enablers already with the Enlightened Maniacs and the Foul Emissary. We could take the Curious Homunculus and try to build more of a spells deck. We just don't have very many spells. Right now we're looking at really one spell. Two if we play red. So I don't know that I want to hedge on playing red. Maybe it's just Exultant Cultist. I feel like that's just a weak pick this early in the pack. But I don't know how many shots I'm going to get at good enablers like that. And I just get a deck that has really good, solid value. And I feel like the red was very thin in the first pack. I'm surprised I got this after shipping that Brazen Wolves, though. I kind of want to go all in on blue-red spells and just try. Fuck it, I'm taking Homunculus. Let's see what happens now. Alright, it could have been the 2/2 instead, and it was not. I could have been the Exultant Cultist. I'm still very open to anything at this point. I was just ahead. I just didn't think the Cultist was that much better than Homunculus, so I want to try it. I could have also taken the +1 plus the combat trick, the +1/+0 and first strike to 2 creatures. That's also good. Maybe that will work. Maybe that's better, and I can maybe wheel this guy. I'm not sure. I'm going to take Grapple with the Past. I think it's an underrated card. I've got a couple of big Emerge guys already. No way I would play a second turn aside or even start. Even play 2 after board would probably be very unlikely. Woodcutter's Grid is fine. It is an instant. Maybe we can get enough instants to make like Foul Emissary and those kind of things click on. I just don't see us playing black at this point. We could take Certain Death. That's a possibility. But I don't think it fits very well with what we've got. I'm going to take the Woodcutter's Grid. Dust Feaster is powerful. I hate that we're getting in this spot. Fogwalker's okay. I don't think it's great. I'm not happy really to have it in my deck. Maybe I should have been blue-black. I don't feel like I saw a lot of black in the first pack. Dust Feaster is just a big boy. I'm going to take Fogwalker. It's decent interaction early. Spirit came around. Wow. All right, that's just a very clear sign that green is quite open. So I'm going to take that. I mean, it almost wheeled. I'm going to take that. I've got Grapple with the Past. And this place is okay. Terrarium probably does more of what we want to do. It could throw an Advanced Stitchwing in the graveyard. It helps with Spontaneous Mutation. It helps with the Splash. I'll take Terrarium. The other cards are not exciting. Bar of Malevolence is the most powerful card in the pack. I'm going to get rid of it. Prophetic Ravings, though, I think in the right shell is not unplayable. I don't know if I haven't got nearly enough wolves for that. Whoa. Whoa, Borrowed Grace. Whoa. I don't see ever playing Wolfkin Bond. I'm just not going to ship a Borrowed Grace that late. I just don't see playing Wolfkin Bond. I guess not battling Light and Maniac. You just put it on the token. You got a big guy. And you just sacrifice the other one. I don't know. Borrowed Grace is a card that wins games. I just can't think that card should ever come that late. Contingency plan number 2. That will not be a contingency plan for this deck. Or any other one I play, probably. We just haven't had really good opens either. They've been awkward all 3 packs. I mean, there isn't a serviceable blue or green card in the entire pack. I think it's just Thraben Gargoyle. It's okay. It can give Delirium if I need it. Yeah, there's just nothing in this pack. I mean, I could cut like a Bygone Bishop. The cards even that I would be cutting aren't powerful. They're okay. I think I'm locked into green. And green was pretty good to me in the first pack. Like there was green cards available. Get a Militia Captain and a Tooth Collector. Interesting cards. I think I've got to take Ongoing Investigation. Ongoing Investigation seems pretty sick in this deck. We're mostly creatures. We'll be making clues. I wish I'd gotten some of the 2/3, the one that benefits from a sack. It's not unlikely that we could wheel Confront the Unknown. Maybe a Hinterland Logger. Yeah, I'm going to take the Ongoing Investigation. Be sweet. Yeah, I think Daring Sleuth seems bad, and I think there's a good chance I'll wheel it. I think it's Confront the Unknown or Jace's Scrutiny here. I don't think it's one of those two cards. Lightning Axe is also very powerful. That's probably what I would pack one, pick one out of this. Not probably. That's what I would pack one, pick one out of here. But being that I'm in the blue-green deck now, Jace's Scrutiny is also powerful. Maybe it's just better than Confront the Unknown. It probably, I mean, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's a little bit more powerful, obviously. Confront the Unknown is just easier to squeeze in. I'm going to take Confront the Unknown. It's close. Just not a defensive card at all, which is awkward. I think Magnifying Glass, this might end up being a somewhat grindy deck anyway. And Magnifying Glass puts in work. Pious Evangel is really powerful. I hate to be shipping that. There's been lots of really good white cards. I mean, there's been lots of power cards in just the other colors. Wildfield Scarecrow is good. I'm not going to be splashing. Though it isn't unreasonable to splash those if I have enough instants. I don't think I really have enough. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 tricks. I think it's just Rabid Bite here, and a pretty easy Rabid Bite at that. Lone Dryad's solid here. Help accelerate our mana. A card we can emerge off of if necessary. I don't know how good Mold Graph Scavenger is versus Fork in the Road. All these white cards. I don't know how easily we're going to get Delirium. That's the question. I've got Terrarian. I have some instants. I have a few sorceries. I have a couple of artifacts. That's also an artifact. So Delirium won't be that tough to get. Maybe it's just Mold Graph here. I'm going to take Mold Graph. It's a good blocker as well. Engulf the Shore is interesting. I don't know if you can play it. Maybe. I'm not going to play Warped Landscape. Though it does give me a way to get a land in the graveyard for Delirium. I don't have much in the I'm going to take Engulf Shore. I think Engulf Shore is playable. Topplegeist this late? What the fuck? So, yeah. Nagging Thoughts is solid. I don't know that Intrepid Provisioner really does what we want to do. I don't know. It is a decent tempo card. I just don't know that we're a very tempo-y deck. Nagging Thoughts is probably just better. Yeah, I'm taking Nagging Thoughts. I'm not sure. Did I not take it? No. What did I get instead? Ah. I don't know what I took instead. All right. Intrepid Provisioner it is. I was trying to see what I thought I took it. Oh, another Intrepid. Maybe it's Thornhide Wolves here. Like a 3/3 that can pump a guy in a deck that's not very aggressive is not going to be exciting. I'm going to take Thornhide Wolves. I think he's a pretty good body, power and toughness wise in this format. I'm not scared to play Root Out main either. If there's anybody in the world that'll play a main, it's me. All right, so I like all my early drops. I don't know if I have enough instants. I'd want to have at least like 8, probably more for Curious Moments. Right now, I just don't have 8, so this guy's got to go. The Fork would have been a good card to get him live, I guess. Root Out also helps, but not enough. I just don't have enough cards to make it go. I think root out's got to be in the sideboard, unfortunately. Spontaneous mutation. All my 1-drops are good. I like what they're doing. I have a couple of cards for Delirium. I do not love Fogwalker. He could go. Really wish we got another Delirium. I'm sorry, another Emerge card, and we did not. Those need to be taken aggressively in the first pack, I think, because the second pack they're going to be competed over. Engulf the Shore is interesting. Like, it leaves my big bodies on the board, and I can bounce a bunch of little bodies. I can even bounce, like, the Enlightened Maniacs. I want to try it out. I think it's powerful in this deck. I don't think that Tattered Haunter is very good with what this deck is trying to do. It does work with Ongoing Investigation. Huh. I'm going to have to cut some cards, though. Grip of the Past kind of works like mana. I feel like that and Terrarian and Loam Dried together probably represent one land. If we're not going to be an aggressive deck, I really don't like Intrepid Provisioner. I guess I can pump, like, even pumping an Enlightened Maniac, like, you know, give me whatever. I can pump somebody and get through, but it's just not what this deck is doing. This may just be our 17 here. I don't know, with only a couple of bigger threats, I don't know if something like Turnicide should be in the main or not. Stoic Builder is also just an average 3-drop. Very average, but not terrible. Yeah, I think this synergy with Ongoing Investigation is too good to pass up in a deck that's not particularly exciting. Yeah, I don't love this deck. We could have been in a different color, I guess. These two wouldn't have helped. We don't have enough. If we end up with like a whole bunch of spells somehow, we could splash them. We just didn't end up with a ton of spells, even. So, I think this may just be our 23. We got some bigger payoff cards. We have some good synergies. Our deck just isn't very powerful. Or the card low. Like, you think about, we don't have any rares. Are we playing any rares in our whole deck? Nope. No rares. Oh, I'm sorry. We got one rare. A weird rare. So, let's see what we're looking at color-wise and see. Okay, we're pretty even. We'll just play one more green. We got a double blue, and we got an early double green and the Loam Dried and a couple more early green plays. So play 9 islands, 9 forests, and 8 islands. And I think this should be good. And we'll just see how it goes. I'm tempted to just play Root Out main. It could take care of a very, very powerful card, and I think our deck needs a little bit of something like Over the Top to win, and that might just be something we can do. I don't know that I want to shave any creatures. I could just take out Woodcutter's Grit, Woodcutter's Grit is kind of a removal spell and kind of a Turnicide all jammed into one, which is very meh. It works okay with Engulf the Shore as well. It is an instant. Let's play it like this. It's close. I would say we probably have a below average deck for this pod. I think the last pod we had an above average deck, we just got a little bit unfortunate. That's a good keep. We going grindy. It's our win con, baby. We just drew our win con. This grapple was a great pickup. I'm not going to be doing any attacking. So I think it's just magnifying glass. I could do grapple with the pass. Maybe he tries to do some kind of a trick and I can do grapple with the pass spontaneous mutation. But I'm not particularly excited about using spontaneous mutation on that anyway. My removal is a little bit light. And I could easily just get a land at this point. I'm just going to play the magnify. Let's accelerate our mana. I'm just going to block. I've got grapple with the pass. If he wants to kill my guy, he can kill my guy. He can borrow malevolence or whatever. All that seems fine. Just don't care that much, I don't think. Huh? What did he do? What happened there? That was weird. That was weird. So glad we got this big body. He's just big. Bleh. I think we're in a good spot. We got a tempo card or a removal card. Sort of a pump spell slash raise dead. That does things. He just doesn't. I mean, I guess he battles okay if I get Delirium with these guys, but I feel like it's just Wretched Griff here. I could also investigate and leave myself 1 mana up. That just doesn't work great. I mean, with 1 more mana, though, I'm just playing this guy with no cost. So doing it 1 turn early may just not be worth it. It allows me to grapple with the pass, too, which is a thing. When he kills one of my guys, I can just get it back. I'm just going to play the Lone Drive. I think it hurts me at all. He's very low on cards. Like, I've got a good solid hand. Even a really good creature or removal spell here doesn't scare me. If we see something like a Borrow Malevolence main deck, it might mean we want to take out the 1 toughness creature, just make it a little bit tougher for him. Ha ha ha, make it a little tougher for him. Also got our clock online here, which is nice. So now I need 4 in the 1, so I can do that. Yeah. This 4/5 is putting in work. Yeah, I get Magnifying Glass and Grapple with the Past. All seem great. And I got Spontaneous Mutation with Grapple with the Past, which is also pretty sick. He's got a bunch of guys that just don't matter. Mindbender? That's funny. So now I can... What's the deal? He can get rid of one card, right? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. He just gets one card. Sure. I think it's probably grapple or spontaneous mutation. You take grapple, spontaneous mutation, just a lot worse. It also means if he answers Griff, then I don't just get it back and beat him down with it again. So it's probably grapple with the pass. Is probably the correct choice. I don't know if that's what the choice he'll make, or if the card in his hand predicts a different action. We'll just see. He's a thinking. He's in the tank. Yeah, he got the right one, I think. If I thought he was an expert and took a different card, I would have a hard time thinking of a reason why. I could have just cast grapple with the past. That was also just an option. Easy attack. I don't see doing much more than that. Now the question comes down to whether or not it's worth it to play Drag Under. If I'm going to use Drag Under, then I want to figure out what these are. So if I play Enlightened Maniac, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, I'll have enough just to cast it, right? So it's 8. So if I play Enlightened Maniac, I could Drag Under. Just doesn't seem great. If I were to drag under, I could drag under one of these guys. This is the one turn when he might be able to punish me with a big combat trick removal. So if I were to play drag under on this, and then play Enlightened Maniac, and I can have that up. That's pretty good. All right. I think it was just worth the card advantage. I'm going to be getting more cards off Magnifying Glass anyway. This makes attacks for him very awkward. I don't think he can attack here. Even with a trick, I think it's pretty bad. That's not true. If he had Woodcutter's Grit, that'd be pretty good. He would 2-for-1 me. So he has 3 cards. We know one of them to be Backwoods Survivalist and 2 others. Yeah, not casting the grapple, I think, was a mistake. It would have gotten me a mold graph scavenger minimum. He still wants to attack with that thing. I just don't know that I really care. Sure. I'm at 20. Obviously, I could just keep that guy, but I don't think I need it for anything. I don't think I need it for any kind of an enabler. I have plenty of mana just to cast all my spells. I'm going to hold spontaneous mutation so I get to respond to something else that he's doing. I could have just double blocked, but I don't want to lose Thornwood Hide Wolves because it blocks his other 3 guys so amazingly. I'll just jump block a couple times on this guy and basically hope to ride Wretched Griff to victory here. But I also, it's like I want the game to go fast because I want to kill him with this, but I also want it to go long because I got Magnifying Glass. People poo-pooed Magnifying Glass all the time. And it's just not so. Well, that worked out much better. So I've got enough. Let's get my beat on here. I think my Eldrazi Horror is worse than any one of his cards. So I think I'm very fine trading. And if he wants to just take 6, that's also fine. But Delirium is not impossible for him. I think that's a good trade. I think people do try to make too many cutesy trades too fast to try to like clear the board out so the math is simpler. That's a big mistake. To do it just for that reason is a big mistake. Be more clear about my answer there. Sometimes you do make bad trades to open up like little creatures to attack. Like, you know, you got 2 3/3s and, you know, 2 2/2s. Well, you want 3/3s to trade with their 3/3s so your 2/2s can attack. Alrighty. That's awkward. I don't see really going for like any kind of a tutor effect. I'm just going to blow these and get card advantage. That's solid. I don't think I need to get fancy. I think I'll wait for a flyer that bothers me. He could have like aim high, I guess, here. That's not a card typically played. I think I just want to get all my lands out every turn I can because of Magnifying Glass. I could play a 2-drop if I got it. I'm going to investigate now. I did not. Okay, what did we see from her? We saw Prey Upon and a Distended Mindbender in terms of tricks. So he showed me his planes. What does he have white in there for? I can't think of any particular... Oh, Sigarda maybe? Sigarda is definitely a thing. So he had Prey Upon and that Emrakul's card. Makes me wonder if Turn Aside would be better maybe than, well, Woodcutter's Grit's also okay in that capacity. Flying seemed to be tough for his deck, so I want to keep the flyers in there. I don't know that Mulgraph's card actually matches up pretty well if we can get Delirium with several of his creatures. The Tattered Hunter, again, matches up pretty well against his lack of flying. I am tempted to try to play the Turn Aside, but we only saw 2 targets. And I think Green-Black in general doesn't have as many. I'm going to run it back like it is. I didn't see any reason to play Root Out. And I like Turn Aside better in a deck where you have really powerful permanents that you're protecting, and where your deck has, like, you're trying to put together a puzzle of cards to beat your opponent. While this is more just a grind deck, we're just going to get advantage, try to draw some extra cards and win, and I just don't think it's as necessary there. We have all our enablers. It makes for a very awkward opening hand, but it's 2 of our more powerful cards. If we draw any of our creatures, and we got 2 Enlightened Maniacs, this hand gets pretty insane. I'm going to try to keep it. I think it's obviously a little bit of a... I got 3 cards that are very conditional on what else I draw. So maybe it just has to be a mulligan. I'm keeping. I think it takes so little for this to turn into a great hand. That's step 1. Random step 2. We're going to curve, apparently. Not saying this is the dream. Skulk is real, though. Look at us. That was a ridiculous draws. Turn 3 Enlightened Maniac. Huh. Pretty easy. Skulkity doodah there. It might just be him over the Enlightened Maniac. I don't know. This guy's also 7. Maybe this guy just hits harder. Does It of the Horrid Swarm do more for us right now? Maybe. It's 1 turn later, but this is easier to cast for cheaper. Like, this doesn't... I guess it lets us draw an extra card. We could draw a 3-drop that we could play. And then next turn we can play this on the Fogwalker. That's pretty good too. Yeah. That's all, folks. I think It of the Horrid Storm is better earlier. I'm more likely able to hit for 4 next turn, which might, and I also get like the possibility of using a combat trick like that. Spontaneous Mutation is going to be insane here. He's going to try to 1-for-1 the Wretched Gryph, I guess. He could take out the Fogwalker. Is he taking out the Loam Dryad? Sure. Is it just Stitchwing go to town, or is it It of the Horrid Swarm on my Fogwalker after I attack? I'm gonna think about it while I beat him down. Like, It of the Horrid Swarm on Fogwalker. I think it's just Advanced Stitchwing. It puts it on like a 2-turn clock. I'm at 20. So make him deal with this stuff. The next turn I get It of the Horrid Swarm and Spontaneous Mutation. No, I don't like this play as much because of Prey Upon. Still leaves with a flyer. And he has to 2-for-1 himself with the Prey Upon without another trick. He's going to 2-for-1 himself regardless to kill either one of my flyers in that kind of a fight mode. So I really like this limited format a lot, though. I just have not gotten to draft blue-green. I liked blue-green a lot, and people kind of didn't really like the archetype. Thought it was one of the weaker ones, and I thought with the emerge cards that it was really strong. I always feel like that R&D at this point in time really tries to amp up each new set to make it very impactful in standard. And generally, things that are very impactful in standard are pretty good in limited too. Not combo-y type cards, but really powerful creatures in standard are almost always really good in limited too. So in that vein, I feel like you need to expect there to be a big power upgrade with each set. Not so much, I guess, not an upgrade, but a lot of cards that are going to be very valuable in both limited and constructed because they want to shake things up. They want people to stand up and take notice of the newest set. Yeah, Prey Upon. It's annoying. He thinks he can afford to beat. Interesting. All right. I don't know why he didn't kill the Wretched Griff. A little surprised by that. I think I just beat with everybody. If he wants to get another land, that's fine. He takes 4. I do It of the Horrid Swarm on... No, maybe I just bring back Advanced Stitchwing, actually. Discard 2, bring back Advanced Stitchwing seems good. I could let him just not get a land, but then I miss out on a point of damage as well. It does pump his Gavany Unhallowed, and I don't guess it speeds up the clock any. That seems fine. I just don't think I need more than 5 lands at this point. And who knows, maybe the move was just to play Spontaneous Mutation. Id of the Horde Swarm is going to cost 5. I don't really want to race with anything. I should have done it this turn. It just gets awkward with the mana. I don't think it really matters, but he's dead next turn. Whee! All right. Well, that was exciting. We got a win. Got a W under the belt with a fairly average deck, I feel like. So, not too shabby. I think the deck, though, I mean, it does what it does well. I mean, it ramps fine. It has some late game. We can grind stuff out. The disadvantage is that we're doing a lot of card drawing, but we're not card drawing to very powerful cards. I think usually when you have a lot of card drawing, you want disparity. You want kind of the average cantrip cut cards, the decent cards, and then a couple of very powerful cards you're trying to dig for. And we're not trying to dig for anything like that. Retrogryph is good. Id of the Horde is good. One or two more emerge cards would have been great, but that's kind of what the deck... That's what we said about the last deck as well. So hopefully we'll have equally good result next round. At least we did battle through the first round, so we're in round 2. And we'll pick it up then. All right, back for round 2. Hopefully this will go as well as round 1. And we'll draw 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop into overwhelming favoritude in this match. We'll see. No double blue. This is awkward. I don't have anything to get that. I don't have the double blue for that. Ongoing investigation is bad with this hand. I think it's just a pretty easy mulligan. It's just a pretty terrible hand. There we go. I'm going to bottom that. We've already got 4 lands, a 2-drop and a 5-drop on the draw, so I don't think more lands are going to be trouble. And our deck doesn't really need more than 5 lands usually. It uses more mana than that, but oftentimes it's just for... emerge and doubling up on 2-drop, 3-drop, and making a clue and with magnifying glass, etc. So the ramp has been real. Gonna get turn 4 Thornhide Wolves, which would have been a lot better on the play. Sure. I'm guessing he didn't have a land drop, possibly. He's the blue-red spells deck, though. I'm tempted to play Fogwalker just to untap, because he has another bounce spell. It starts to get a little awkward, but then I can play Fogwalker next turn. I can actually play Fogwalker straight into Retrogryph if I want. Okay. I think here I just make a clue. Fogwalker's fine. Next turn I get Retrogryph if I want. I can also just do Fogwalker into Retrogryph, which is pretty damn good. I draw the card right away to reply. I'd love to be able to tap something down right now. It would be so good. But, yeah, I'm just going to do this. Oh, cool. He's a big boy. I'm not going to say he isn't. If he flips this guy, attacks, does 2 damage every deploy, kills the Thraben Gargoyle, then I block and trade, and he gets me in a 2-for-1 there. This is rough. I can just play It of the Horde Swarm next turn. I can also hold back and block. I don't know that I can even attempt to try to race what he's going to do over there. The question is, if I were just to swing with Wretched Griff right here, play Thraben. If I just play Thraben right here, he gets a big advantage. Because he pings it when he attacks, and then I trade with this, and I take 8, maybe 9 if he draws a land. If he has a trick at all in there, it's bad. I guess it's not any worse, because this guy still blocks that. If he has a trick that costs 1 mana, I guess it would be a little bit rough. But I just don't know how good a blocker Wretched Griff really is. And I have to deal with a 6 power guy at some point. I think I just have to try to beat. Oops. This way, if he attacks to kill this guy, then I just make a clue and sacrifice it. I'm okay with that. It'd be great to have a clue. I can't stop it. Oh, he's just going to attack with that. Interesting. Yep, I don't think I can do anything about that. It's just the way it is right now. He doesn't even want to attack with the 6/6? Oh, he didn't cast a non-creature spell. That's right, yeah. Yeah, I can't do anything there. It's just a good 2-for-1 for him. It uses a lot of mana, but it's just good for him. So I can just play Maniac into It of the Horde Swarm and get full value. Well, we know I'm attacking. Let's go ahead and just beat. Question is, do I want to get the tempo that that gives me? I don't know that they really match up very well against him anyway. One advantage might get one more body, and then I'm able to start cracking clues and doing other stuff next turn. It gives me a chump blocker as well. No, it doesn't want to give me a chump blocker. I can take 6 one turn anyway. I'm just going to cast it. How badly does he punish me here with this? Like, I don't think he does much. I mean, if he brings back Smoldering Werewolves, it's a little bit rough. I just don't know that I really care about that guy. What's the worst that he does? He casts 2 instants? Do I even care? I think I'm alright with him trading for It of the Horde, so I'm pumping twice. That seems alright. Yeah, I don't know how this goes very badly for me. Yeah, that seems like a great trade for me. Because his deck can do busted things, and I'm sorry, the Ingenious Scob, like the shell in which Ingenious Scob is played usually does some pretty busted things. So let's start off by riding a clue here. You always need to make sure that you've got the right amount. So if I do 4, I have enough mana exactly to make another free clue. So let's start with an attack. The trample is going to be annoying. Hopefully I'm enough ahead. So I have creature, artifact. That's it. Creature, creature, artifact, artifact. Sure. He's got 1 card left, that's it. So he flips it for 7 and pumps 1 more, hitting me for 6. Okay. And I've used all my emerge stuff. I think having an attacker could be critical. Yeah. Hits me for 6. Did I draw? I did draw. I could get... What card would I get? I can go for, like, the tutorings here. No, that's the other one. I'm losing my mind. That's the journal. So, easy burn a clue here. Even easier... burn a second clue. That's pretty good. So he can pump his guy how big? He can pump to 11. The most you could ever hit me for with that guy is 11. And I can make it hit for 9. But then he would die the next turn. I think I have to attack with everybody. Even if he draws a land, yeah, it doesn't matter. He can only pump it. Oh, it's not +1 minus. So he can put 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He can make it 14, and I'm at 10. So he would need to rip a land to make that happen. Maybe I have to just beat and hope. If any of his are lands, I would just lose. All right, so 9, so 14 would be 15 with a land, and he'd have enough. Does he have enough as it is? Is it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14? So if I just have 4 toughness, I just lose. Even with this. Maybe I just can't attack. Maybe I just have to try to make a big trade and then... win with... He gets to do a whole lot of trample. Maybe I just have to do it that way. I could hold what might be perceived to be a trick. I should have tapped the magnifying glass, obviously. He gets to trade like a 5-for-1, which he may just take. He doesn't want me to draw a trick. And I need to be able to do 7 to it. So he does 5, 10, 15... 15, and I deal 7 to it with a 7 toughness, so I take 8 and go to 2. That's the 7. If you lose any of the guys, I would lose anyway. So 10, 15, and I take 8 going to 2. So ridiculous. I mean, you see how good this is a common that he's doing this with. All right. Investigate. Clue. Fuck. This is super awkward. I've drawn how many more cards? Just 2 more cards in, actually, surprisingly. Okay. So I'm glad I didn't draw a better creature. I have to block. Ends up killing 2-for-1. That's pretty good for him. That's pretty good. All right, let's start off by sacrificing this to get blue. What else we can draw here? So 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I don't even need to do anything more now. I just go green, green, blue, and just play it, right? Ugh. And play a forest. And pass turn. I shouldn't have played a forest. I don't want him to kill my flyer if he happens to have drawn something to finish it off. I guess he gets to draw a card anyway. So maybe the move is just simply to just block it. Now I might need the flyer. The flyer can't attack though, and I can actually burn a clue and get somewhere. Yeah, I'm just gonna block. I feel like he just wants to draw a card. All right, starting to dig a little bit now, which is nice. Oh, wow, that's good. So exile a creature card from your graveyard, gain 2 life. That sounds good. I'm gonna go ahead and do one of those now. Yeah, that's right. I will exile Fogwalker. So I'm gonna get out of range here. I'm just gonna play the land. I want to be making clues and doing stuff. I get to play Spirit if I want. Okay. Another possibility here is just to take and gain a bunch of life. I can gain 2 and go to 1. That seems dangerous. Just gonna play that guy. Sure. Another sleep paralysis. I just want to get a creature back. I just want to get Wretched Griff back, right? Okay. Grapple. Where did Biggie go? Oh, do I get It of the Horrid Swarm instead? Does that just kill him more reliably? Alright, I can play that. Use the card that I draw to get that back. And I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I need 2 to play, no, 1 to play Griff. And then I feel like it's a Griff. Maybe It of the Horrid Swarm is just safer. It just seems safer. All right, so now we can play. And we have 10 mana. I can't Rabbit Bite. I can do that. I can get a clue. I think I'm just passing. I'm so gonna die. I'm so gonna clock out here. That's interesting. He's got the fevered visions. Interesting. I just want the flyer back. I don't think those cards seem very important. It doesn't. Rabbit Bite's pretty good. Let's do this. Sacrifice a clue. Can't use my clock so unwisely. Ah. All right. Well, my deck is really good against this. How much did he have in the way of turn aside? I feel like blue red always has tons of turn aside targets. I'm going to take turn aside, and I'm going to play. He's got fevered visions as well, which is interesting. And he had a bunch of enchantments, so root out seems pretty awesome. Wolves played nicely. I just don't think Engulf the Shore is great. I'm going to take it out. Let me cut one more card. Fogwalker is also suspect. I don't know that Three-Wing Gargoyle is great against him anyway. At least Fogwalker works well with ongoing investigation. While Tattered Haunter just on the defense seems not great. I also need ways to close the game quick. I'm going to be very subject to just conceding if things look bad. Ah, the clock. We gotta love the clock. That guy's good. I'm gonna try. That seems fine. Okay. I'd rather just play the, not to play defense here. I got the foul emissary, but well, he may have fever visions and not want to play it because it will get me mana. That's not great for us. I think it's just Maniac here and ship. God, that guy's such a good gun when the Wilden back out guys is so good. Well, this game would be decided quickly, so it won't matter that much. Interesting. I did not draw the land. I have to wait and just hope I can get the woodcutter's grid on. That gets me an instant, an artifact, and a creature in the graveyard. That's not great. Drag Under's also okay. Maybe he doesn't have another spell. It'll get me up to the land I need. I want to bounce that guy. I can't believe I'm 12 minutes down on time, though. It's painful. It's just how I do. It's how I roll. Alright, I can do that at instant speed. It doesn't work very well, though. Bull. Grapple, I guess. So I hope I get a land in there. Yep. Oh wow, Wretched Griff's so good here. I'm gonna get Wretched Griff. Okay. This seems so bust. I could just draw a land. I can't do that with the Wilden back out, guys. That's the rough part here. That's the rub. Sure. Question is, do I double block? I think I might just need to double block here and take this guy out. He only has so many spells, but I have some ways to deal with that guy. I just have to take it out while I can. Alright, I can play Guy. I can root out as well. Root out the sleep paralysis. I can also just play Guy. I take a lot of damage, though. I don't have a good answer to that right now. I'm going to concede. I don't think I went fast enough. Whatever, I want to play with my best cards. Those are my best cards. Keep. It's annoying that I'm just so slow. I could just bring in Spirit of the Hunt. Let's play Thraben. Pass. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. If I had 10 minutes, I'd call myself a very large favorite in this game, but with a minute and a half, probably not feeling as good. Alright, I can't do anything but just beat here, I think. I could use that to fight. I'll take that guy down. So gonna lose on time. Man, this is bad. I think we were looking good this game. I get in with a little bit of damage. There's just no way I was losing this game with all these clues. Ugh. 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 Whatever. All right. So we had an automatic win there for sure, and we coughed it up. So that's fun for the first video. You always get to learn what it's like to be me, the struggles that I have to undergo. So we did 2 drafts. Pretty sure we were just in the finals of that one for certain. Like there's just no way he's winning that game. I think I could kill him or let him deck himself. There's a number of different ways I could win that game, but they didn't happen. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Please check out MSA, mindsportsacademy.com, for more content. Obviously, if you're in here watching this, you've gotten some content. Use the TVC 006 code if you can to get set up. Pass that on to your friends and let them know where you came to watch drafts and read articles. And thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys later on. Thanks.